Jason, do you have any fears or phobias?
I do. I have a fear of dying. I'm scared of heights, but I love roller coasters. Like I said, I paint houses for a living, so that generally requires me to climb about 25, 30 feet up in the air on an extension ladder, which I do not like. And sometimes I'm up 35 foot on a roof, and I'm not tied off. It's just free. If I fall, it's free falling. I'm scared of heights. I'm scared of dying. I'm scared of phobias. I guess I don't like spiders. I don't like snakes. I don't like dark places. I don't like being trapped in, closed in dark spaces. That's pretty much it. Sometimes the dark scares me. I don't like being outside in the dark by myself. Sometimes.
How open are you to learning and or trying ancient or unusual medical practices from around the world?
I guess I'm fairly open to it, depending on if there's any snakes, spiders, lizards, or anything like that involved. If you have something like that involved, I'm going to be a little skeptical. I'm probably not going to want to participate at all. In fact, I'm probably going to be like as far away as I can get from anything like that. But on another note, anything I would say, it doesn't have to. Now, if it has to do with heights, if you're going to put me up on a 6-story building and ask me to just stand there and look over the edge, that might cure my anxiety. I may have a little problem with that. But overall, I'm pretty optimistic about it. I think that I would be open-minded to certain suggestions. Now, whether or not I would be willing to go full force and participate, I don't. That's a hard one to ask. But I guess depending on the situation. And where there's a situation, there's always another situation. So I'm very open-minded to it.
Well, what about eating strange things? I mean, if an alternative doctor told you that eating a scorpion would cure high blood pressure, would you do it?
Wow, I don't know. Would I do it? Now, I do have migraines. And they come about twice a year, and they're pretty painful, and they last about a week at a time, maybe a week and a half. If I knew that I would never have to face another migraine again, and I guess depending on, and if I could choose the size of the scorpion, now I don't know. I mean, it just depends on, what's going on. I mean, can we boil it first? Can we fry it? Does it have to be live? Is it dead? Those things, of course, those questions are going to come to my head, and I'm gonna be skeptical about eating a scorpion. Right? I'm definitely. Can I just get a sample first?
Would you participate in a cure where leeches were used to heal?
Oh yeah, I'm not afraid of leeches. Strap them on me, baby. I'm leech phobia free. No problem with the leeches. I would have no problem with leeches.
Now, how do you think you'd react to some of these bizarre and outrageous medical practices?
Probably a little high anxiety, maybe some stress. Definitely, one of my personalities would come out in the open. The outspoken personality was going to come out. I'm probably going to tell you how I feel about it. Jeez, I tell you, that's a good question. That's one of those questions. I think once I was in that situation, I don't think I'm going to like that situation too much. I'm going to be very skeptical in some of these practices.
If one of the foreign practitioners on the journey believed that bathing in goat's pee was a cure for migraines, would you try it?
I don't even like baby shit. I don't know. That's, wow. I guess I would rather bathe in goat's pee to cure my migraines than I eat, say, a scorpion. Now, if I could take the leech, if I could go the leech route, I would rather do the leech thing. But goat's pee, I don't see any harm in goat's pee. I think if I had to bathe in goat's pee to clear those migraines, I think I would. If I knew that I would never get another migraine by bathing in goat's pee, I guess depending on how, if I could take a break, I mean, do I pee? What if I got to pee? Do I pee in the goat's pee? Only kidding, but yeah, goat pee, I guess that would depend on the smell. I have a very strong sense of smell, and a lot of things make me puke. So that would, I'd totally be open for it. I would at least give it a shot.
What's the most daring and spontaneous thing you've ever done?
Oh man, I tell you, I was about 5 years ago. I was living in Charlotte, North Carolina, and one day I decided that, you know, I want to live at the beach. And I had already visited a place called Carolina Beach, North Carolina. And Monday night I was contemplating on just packing up and moving. And I talked myself out of it. Now I woke up on a Tuesday morning around 7:30 a.m. and I was I didn't have to think twice. I packed everything I had up in this little 1975 Ford Courier. It's a small truck. They made it back in the 70s by Ford. I packed everything, all my clothes, left my furniture, left my televisions, left my stereos, left my dishes, left everything behind. Packed all my clothes up into this in the back of this truck, and I took off down the interstate. I got about 5 miles down the interstate. My truck died. So instead of you got to figure I'm about 400 miles to my destination, maybe 350 miles, 350, and I didn't think twice. Put my foot down, took what I could carry, and I hit the interstate hitchhiking. And I hitchhiked all the way to Carolina Beach. It took me 4 days to get there, but I did it. And I hitchhiked at 2 o'clock in the morning down the interstate. Got caught up in a tropical storm, Hurricane Ivan, on the way there. Was rescued by a ranger, taken to a church. The next day came out of the church and just took off walking again. Of course, I got picked up a couple of times here and there by a couple of strangers. 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning on the interstate, on the highway. And finally I made it to Carolina Beach on Saturday morning. I was staying on the ocean with nothing but $110 in my pocket. And from that point on, I lived at Carolina Beach for about 7 years, and I was very successful. That was the best thing that ever happened to me.
What was the last unusual, exciting, or adventurous thing you instigated?
Well, I instigated my own grave just about I guess about 4 months ago. This is when I kind of got laid off work, and I had an opportunity to work on a boat, a fisherman's boat. They go out and they catch fish. This is down in Vero Beach, Florida. Vero Beach, Florida. It's a fisherman. He catches fish. He goes about 5-6 miles out, catches these ballyhoos and these mahi-mahis and shark and sea bass and all this. So I decided, you know, I'm gonna give it a try. They had an ad on one of these websites that were hiring, looking for a mate. Never been out on a boat that far out in the ocean ever in my life. In fact, never been on a boat in the ocean, except in the inlet, ever in my life. So I spoke with the guy and talked with him, and anyway, he hooks me up with a job, and that job lasted about 2 days. I got out to his boat. We set sailed, and within about 3 hours after getting out there, I was as sick as a dog. He's catching fish, and I'm trying to catch fish. He's reeling them in, and I'm netting them in, and I'm trying to fillet them, and the motion in the boat, and the stench of the fish. It was unbearable for me. So I ended up sick. And about 3 hours later, he informs me, hey, Jason, we're about to run into some heavy tropical weather. This tropical weather is probably going to last 3 or 4 hours. I'm sick as a dog. So let's just say from Thursday morning, from Thursday afternoon around 2 o'clock, I was puking, and I did not stop puking, and I had waves crashing over me on this boat, waves just crashing over me in this tropical storm. That was probably the most fearful time of my life, and thank God I lived to tell that one.
What's your best and worst quality?
Wow. Well, I'm a good friend. I don't really... That's a good question. I've never thought about what my best quality... I have a bad quality. I smoke cigarettes, but I'm going to smoke one anyway. I guess my best quality is you can count on me for anything. I'm a guy who helps my neighbor. I'm a guy who helps the guy over here that's homeless on the street. I'm the guy that gives $1 to a homeless man. I'm the guy that helps an old lady across the street. I'm the guy that helps an old lady in a wheelchair. I push her around Carolina Beach and keep her company and buy her a beer or two and a homeless lady in a wheelchair. I'm just one of those guys that you can always count on me. You can count on me. You can either count on me to be there, or you can count on me not to be there. You can always count on me. My worst quality is I have a temper. I'm very impatient. If somebody tells me they're going to call me at 3 p.m. and I don't hear from them at 5 after 3, then I'm calling them. And I'm using up all their text messages, and I'm texting, and I'm very impatient. And that's something that it's my friends will tell you that this guy's he's high-tempered and he's very impatient.